Facebook Live. Hello. This is Monica Busby, Mama Head Honcho and cycling CEO of the EFE show and eCommerce Kids. I have an amazing guest with you. I'm going to chime her in right now. What's up, girl? This is Robyn Johnson. Hello.
Hi, guys. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so I'm going to just change the audio really quick. So I could hear you. Can you hear me? Do mic check. Sounds good?
I can hear you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So I'm going to put you under, just making sure everything is good. All right, guys. So welcome officially to the 4th episode of the e-commerce family entrepreneur show. Thanks for having us back. We come on every Tuesday at 5:30, and matter of fact, we are live in Sacramento and Phoenix, right? Phoenix, Arizona. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, it's a lot warmer here, I'm sure.
So we bring it to you raw in both cities. And our goal for the show is to give you the tips and strategies on getting ahead and not just building your own wealth, but building generational wealth, generational prosperity, and generational influence. So for those that are just chiming in, please like for sure. Maybe even better, wow it, or maybe do a couple of hearts for us. When we do a little mic check, see if you could do some, what do you call it? Can you do a little mic check for us so that way people could do some hearts or wows for us, Robyn? Just to make sure.
Yeah, just say something funny or
no. I can hear you. I just want to make sure.
What? Like two guys want? Okay, yeah.
Well, you're sounding good, so I just want to make sure your mic is good. I just want to make sure your mic is good.
I can tell you cheesy jokes.
You're sounding really good, so I'm glad. All right, so
okay, good.
For those that want somebody to watch the show, please tag below and tag their names in the comments, and please also share. This is going to be a live broadcast on Facebook, as well as a rebroadcast on Facebook, as well as on the YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to share on that. And so without further ado, this amazing lady has been a big influence, and not only in my life and my e-commerce kids' life, big supporter. I read her book when it first came out, and I had to tell her it was an eye-opening reading experience. It was simple, but it was straight to the point. And lo and behold, it is definitely one of the best sellers in the e-commerce community. And she's doing some amazing stuff. She's like in every conference all over the world speaking. She has a huge following. She has a full-blown digital services / wholesale / everything VA. And she'll probably tell you more about that. Without further ado, this is Robyn Johnson, the unstoppable entrepreneur. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, party. So, girl, I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Because the topic is 6-figure profits and parenting, being a super mom entrepreneur, not just a mom entrepreneur, you're like a super mom entrepreneur. Tell us about how your schedule is like, because how are you juggling all of that?
So, there isn't like a day-to-day schedule because, every week is different. Like this week, I just got back from Rocky Mountain. So, and my kids are on summer break, which makes it even more crazy. So, me and my husband kind of tag team, where, we'll go take them, go do something. I'll take them in the morning, or he'll take them in the morning, and I'll take them in the afternoon. But since I just got back, he's kind of taking them for most of the day today. They have a lot of extra chores, but like a day-to-day thing that, is like looking at the business, what needs to be done, what numbers need to be run, checking in with our team. We use a project management software called Asana, and so it's
Ah,
checking in on, yeah, and
okay.
that's really been really, like, so making sure that everybody, because my husband is great, but sometimes he's like, he needs like a to-do list all the time, like, because he'll forget, and it's not that he means to forget, he just forgets. And so I used to get mad, but we got Asana, and now he has like a checklist that he can go off of, and that goes a lot better.
So the tools are important. How is like when the day like tell us about how your day looks like. So it sounds like you wake up like what time do you normally wake up?
I'm going to be honest, I'm not an early bird. I am a night owl. So, I
Oh.
mean, I usually wake up probably around 8, which I know for some people is like, oh, that's like, like I usually, sometimes I'll wake up at like 7, but for the
Hmm.
most part, I wake up at 8. I just found that I'm more productive if I sleep a little extra. And, so he takes the kids to school in the morning during the school year. I usually start by whatever is like the most pressing thing that has to get done today. I do a
Mm.
little quick, like, what has to get done, before I even open my email. If there's nothing that like has to that's like, an emergency, I
Hmm.
check for high priority emails. And then we kind of go through those, and then we, depending on the day of the week, there's some days that we are focused on inventory, there's some days we're focused on content creation. So it's going to really, it depends on which day of the week, but basically, in the beginning it's kind of outlining that day, um, and then kind of making sure, trying to make sure that our data doesn't become too reactive as far as what, like bouncing here and there, but, really kind of saying how the day is going to go and really trying to plan that out, and then kind of building in time for the reactive things.
So you have to systematize even the topic of your business that day or day of the week. And is that pretty much consistent? Like let's say you have your shipping day, shopping day, or consulting day. It's all like set within a time frame during the week. Is
Yeah,
that how
so
you
I
make it
usually
work?
know like what I need to do. And
Mm-hmm.
then so what I do is I basically time block. So I kind of put like blocks of time. So I'm going to work on this here, I'm going to work on this here. So I look at like what all needs to be done that week, and I kind of divvy it up, because otherwise, you'll find yourself just doing the tasks that you like and not necessarily the tasks that need to get done. And I try to put the ones that I don't like at the beginning of the day, or at the beginning of
Mm.
the week, and so that I have the tasks that I'm looking forward to kind of as a dessert. So especially if I've got like a new project, then that always comes after, like, I have to kind of get everything else done first.
Now you must turn off your Facebook or things that distract you during those hours. No, or maybe not.
It depends on what I'm doing. So if it's like
Mm-hmm.
a customer service day,
Mm-hmm.
where we're, trying to get some care of customer service, we're trying to put together content, then I kind of have to be on Facebook because we have a Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm like, if I'm really focused on something, or if I'm at a conference, a lot of times I will turn it off. And even if I see it on my phone, like, I might not answer it right away,
Mm-hmm.
just because I have to stay focused on what I'm getting done. Otherwise, the first person that messaged me won't get their response back.
Mm.
So it's about really like making sure that we kind of take one piece at a time.
Okay. So to reiterate back, the key is the hardest tasks first in the morning, and it doesn't matter what time you wake up because I'm a night owl too.
Yeah.
8 o'clock is actually still pretty early, unless you're trying to talk to people in the East Coast,
Yeah. Then you have to get up, we have people who are
like
like, well,
five
can I
o'clock.
talk at 9? I'm like, no, I can't talk at 9 your time. Mm-mm.
Exactly. So and so the kids are pretty good in the schedule where they know mommy has to get a little bit of sleeping beauty time, and it's so good that you're tag team. Oh my gosh, my light just went out. There we go. um, so it's great that you and your husband are tag teaming, and that he is also in the business full time, right?
Yes, and so
Okay.
he does a lot of the things with the kids, and then he does a lot of the data analysis. We kind of keep the person who's doing data analysis for clients separate from the person who's sourcing, because
Okay.
we kind of feel that's a conflict of interest. So we have, so he kind of has the things that he does, and then Rochelle has the things that she does, and then we have Brianna who does our customer service, for virtual assistants who do data entry and things like that. So we kind of really balance it out, and there just really isn't like a typical week because things change so fast that things are always moving.
Now, do you guys have like a weekly meeting? I'm assuming you have to have a like a Monday morning powwow for
Yeah,
the
we do
schedule for the week.
Wednesday because sometimes when I'm traveling on Monday, I'm usually kind of like when I come back from a conference, I'm usually kind of like half dead. Like I get things
Yeah.
half done, and then I'm usually buried with email the next day. So we have a team meeting on Wednesday, but we can kind of see what's going on Asana.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been kind of we kind of look at that. We've been looking to integrate Slack, but we just haven't done that yet.
What is
But
SOC?
we're in contact all the time. It's kind of like WeChat or like
Oh.
WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like kind of in between that. So it's kind of like it's a communication platform. It's a great platform.
Is it like a group
Um,
text kind of thing?
yeah. So because
Oh.
right now some of my messages I text and some of them are emailed, and so it's like where was that? Where was that link? Was that in an email or was it Facebook? So we're looking at trying to put everything in Slack.
Oh yeah,
And
Slack. Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's great. That's a great app. And
yeah,
you could even segment it in different topics
yes.
so it doesn't get confusing with just one conversation, and it's saved for a long time, forever, right?
Yeah, it saves pretty long. I think if you
Okay.
want to pay, it saves even longer too. So
Oh, I use that as a library to put videos and stuff like that up there. Did I lose you? Hello? Can you hear me? Da! Did I lose her? Let me try to chime her in again.
exactly,
Oh,
because when
there
you're
you are.
traveling, there we
Okay,
go.
yay!
Yay.
So, unfortunately, as I travel here, I'm just glad that I'm getting some kind of internet here. I don't know if the folks here know that I've been traveling, cycling 19 states in the next 3 months. So, please forgive me if sometimes the internet is kind of iffy. I'm just glad I'm able to connect with Robyn here and, have a nice, quiet place instead of out in some kind of campground somewhere. And I'm still alive without anybody, getting hurt or bikes getting broken. So I'm glad everybody's patient with that. So, all right. So next question, because I know this is a 30-minute show. What were your parents like a big influence in how you think today? Did I lose you again, Robyn? Hello, hello, chat, chat, chickadee chat. I am losing my peoples.
Oh,
Okay, there you go.
there you go.
Did you get
Okay.
my question?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I really got a lot from my dad.
Okay.
He's very much, he has an incredible work ethic. We were taught, you do things with integrity, you do them right. He growing up, one of the things that I always remember him saying is, things are things, and things can be replaced, and people can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so he really instilled like, you work hard, you give it everything that you have, but then you stay focused on what's really important, and family is what's really important. So there were things that my dad wasn't the best at, and there's things that he did really really well, but I think I get a lot of my work ethic from him. And just he's such a generous person that I think that I got a lot of that from him.
Well, sounds like he's a great dad, and for you having you having that amazing type of personality, you probably learned it from him. A lot of character growth on his end. Okay, so another question is, how are you juggling parenthood and business? Because this is probably a really hard thing to do, and I don't think you can master being doing this at the same time. Because when you focus on, I know for me, when I focus on one thing, something's gonna end up giving out. And so, how do you? I would love to know how you balance that because you have such a crazy schedule.
So, I think so. In Sharon Lecter's book, Think and Grow Rich for Women, the last
That's a
chapter is
great
the only
book.
chapter that she really added, right? That
Hmm.
wasn't in Napoleon Hill's original text, or wasn't commentary off of that original text. And that was the idea of balance is
Hmm.
a myth. You can't balance having
Yeah.
this job or this kind of business and having kids. There's no balance there. I
Mm.
can't balance being a great mom when I'm in a different state. Like, it's off balance. It's just the way that it is. It's off balance. But when you have to go beyond trying to find balance, and she got this from Elaine Rawls. You have to have one big life. So how
I like that. One big life.
to?
Hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes like last this weekend, I didn't spend a lot of time with my kids because I was in Colorado.
Mm.
But yesterday we spent the day cuddling. Tomorrow we're going to our like we're going to hang out at the pool, and we're going to go do some things. And we get to go to splash pads and water parks during the week. And we get to go on all sorts of trips. We just were at the beach a week before. And so it's not about balance, because they need to know that when they're parents, there are going to be moments where they feel like they're not doing a good job or they're not doing enough. And all you can give is your best, and role model that, sometimes life is hard, and sometimes you cry, and
Mm.
sometimes you fight, and sometimes things are wonderful and beautiful and perfect. And there's all of that in between. And, without the ups, without the downs, you can't appreciate the ups. When I would work in the church, people would get so focused on Easter, and you
Mm.
forget you can't have a pardon me for getting a little faith based, but you can't have a resurrection without a crucifixion.
Yeah.
So it's not without those moments where you're struggling as a family, where you're having to explain, I know that this is really hard, that I'm having to be here instead of with you, but it's going to bring something greater. And this is why, and I understand why I'm doing what I do.
And
And
that's
yeah.
the very important part right there because I had August last week and he said the same thing. He's because his daughter is only like, I think like not even 3 years old. And he has been teaching her daughter, like, okay, this is daddy work time.
Hmm.
And he's explaining to her that it's a positive thing than a negative, and that she knows at a young age, oh, daddy's work time, I that's great because after that I'm going to have real time with my
Yes.
dad and to travel because they travel a lot. So I love when you said that, to be able not to balance but one big life, and to tell our kids that it is a positive, a good thing that we're working and we're building this business, and that at the end of the day we know our purpose of why we're doing it, so we could enhance who we are not only for ourselves, right, but for our family and hopefully for the next generation.
Yeah, and we talk to them about, like, what kind of job do they want to have, and well, what do you how much education do they think that they need, and what make we'll say, well, why, like, why does that person seem, why was that waiter, why do you think that they were upset, or
Mm.
kind of talk to them about different occupations so that they can make a choice. They already earn their own money.
Mhm.
They have a set of chores that they do, that's just part of being the house. That's part of being part of the family, is contributing. And then they have their occupation, which is their schooling, even during the summer. So during the summer, my son is taking clarinet. He's got
Oh.
math homework, things like that he needs to get done. So right now their occupation is their education. So that's making sure that they're reading, that they're doing their math, and that's what their part of their contribution to the house. And then if they want extra things, then it's we don't even have like a list. Sometimes we'll have like a list of like extra things to do, or I'll say, can you do, if like today or yesterday, where I think we're just a little behind. And so I was like, so if you guys do this chore, I'll give you 50 cents, and kind of like here and there, and they'll negotiate back and forth. But a lot of times, if they want money, they'll say, I want money, and I'll say, well, what could you do to earn some extra money? And we actually have
Mhm.
them generate the chore, and I actually have them invoice, like, give us an invoice. We help my daughter because she's still learning to write, but
Now,
you know.
now, are you thinking of having your kids be a part of the business, or just seeing, where not forcing them to be in the business, but like what?
I they don't need to be in the business. They can if they want to, if they want to
Hmm.
participate. It's funny. I have a friend who's like known for being like the entrepreneur of entrepreneurs, right? And
Hmm.
like she goes around and she has her private plane and she jets from place to place. And she's brought her kids and they've got to see all these extraordinary places. And her older son's been to like every continent except
Wow.
for Antarctica, right? And so for sure she thought he would want to be an entrepreneur, but as soon as he turned 16, he went and got a job at the grocery store. You know,
Oh,
so
maybe because
I
he's
think that
just
that's his
16.
form of rebel. But yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
So sometimes I would rather have them if they want to try to get a job. I'd rather have them try to get a job when they're young, rather
Mhm.
than them thinking and for them to realize, like that means you're going to have to clean up when people vomit in the grocery store bathroom, and when
Mhm.
people let their kids and spaghetti sauce gets broken everywhere. So I want them to do what.
Oh, did we lose her again? Unstable. Almost there. Hello. Did we lose her?
See.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
So you wanted them to have a job um, at a young age or just to experience?
Well, my stepmom is Chinese, and so I don't know a young age that wouldn't really work because she says that your job is to have schooling and then that's it. My 24-year-old brother still has never had a job or
Oh
babysat or anything
my
because
gosh.
he's so but I would say probably at 16 that they either have done a little bit of like raising money here and there, like
Uh-huh.
spending money, but they're already doing that.
Hmm.
So as long as grades don't suffer. But the thing that's important for us is that if they're whatever they're doing, that they give it their all, and that they are willing to take the risks to follow what they really want to do in life,
Hmm.
and embracing the failures that come with that. And hopefully learning from our mistakes. But there's a lot of things my dad tried to tell me that my dad says when you're 13, a hole forms at the back of your brain slides out, and it takes
What?
10 years for it to regrow.
Oh, you must have been so freaked out.
No, well, because I was like, "How did you get you?" Because I was like 24, and I was like, "Dad, I got to tell you, you've gotten so much smarter in the last 2 years." He's like, "No, I've always been like this. Your brain just grew back." Because when you're a
I
teenager, you're
love
like, "You
it.
don't know what you're talking about."
Oh my gosh. Why do why are teenagers like that? They definitely think they know the whole world, but and I'm sure I was like that too at a young age. We all were, I guess, at some point.
Yes, I was a pretty good teenager, but I still had my moments.
All right, so two more questions. What is kind of like, can you share maybe a real life superhero moment? Because the show is all about not just being wealthy, but how can we give back? And so maybe you could share a real life superhero moment in your life that you've done.
Like as far as giving or like managing things.
Things that maybe have changed somebody's life, or maybe something you did secretively and the person didn't even know it and they were just like blown away by it.
So we've been able to do a lot of things that we never would have been able to do. So like with our Q4 boot camp, we always give it away to, nurses, EMTs,
Mm.
police, fire, clergy, and we've had a lot of people say that that has made a big difference. Same thing with
Wow.
our podcast. We have been able to do some things with United Nation Foundation, with some of the women's things. We were able to donate bikes to Nepal, girls in Nepal, so they could get to school, regardless what time of the month it was,
Mhm.
because they needed that ability to have that transportation. And so, we've been able to do things that we wouldn't have access to before. And I wouldn't say that they're, superhero moments, but I would
Oh
say
no,
that
those are
I've had,
superhero moments, girl. Don't make it small. That
well, I
changes
would just
people's
say,
lives.
that there have been so many people that have given so much to me, and I'm so grateful for every opportunity that people have given me to contribute to them. Because I used to not like to ask for favors because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, it was almost kind of gross because I was like kind of wanted the upper hand, not like in a like a devious way, but I wanted to make sure that that I didn't owe anybody anything, that or that like, but that I could kind of make sure that they knew how much I appreciated it. I was basing their love for me off of that. But one time somebody, is like, you have to let people contribute to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, no, I just want to contribute to others. And he said, does it feel good to you when you are able to contribute to somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, of course it does.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. And he said, well, you're denying other people the opportunity to do that. So I'm very grateful for all of the people that have given me the privilege of getting to contribute to them.
I'm telling, yeah, we got to let other people have that feeling of blessing others. And so,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. All right, so last and final question, kind of a hard one, girl. What has been your biggest failure, but that changed your life for the better?
So, I have a lot of failures. I think I fail more than I succeed. There were times that, a mentor told me, well, you're growing really fast. I'm really proud of you, but just be careful because, it's
Yeah.
easy to grow too fast. I was like, she's just not as ambitious as I am. Well, she was right. I was growing too fast and it all worked out and it was fine. But, I could have saved myself a lot of stress by listening.
Uh-huh.
There's, a lot of times my biggest failures have been just not wanting to face, not wanting to really dig deep into the numbers in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because I was afraid of what I would find. And that those really led to some expensive mistakes. So I would say not being willing, not having the courage sometimes in the past to go back and really look at what's so.
I don't know
And
what's going on here, but I think we're. I hope the building is not blowing up or something like
oh my
that.
goodness, you need to go? Is this
No,
like,
no, no, no.
okay.
I think I'm okay. I'm just like, there's a lot of things going on in Sacramento, I guess. That is something. I guess it is an alarm. Well,
Well, I mean, we're only 3 minutes.
it's all good. So let's just finish up and then,
So I would just say, like,
yes.
not trusting my gut.
Uh huh.
And, when I knew that there was something wrong, not trusting my gut and getting a mentor
There you
earlier,
go.
and then being willing to look at my numbers more closely. Those are the things that were like the biggest failures. And like, there were days that like I wanted to just lay down on the floor and cry, and there were days that I actually did just do that. And I think that it's important for people to know that it wasn't all perfect either.
And I love that about you. You're very transparent. And, this business is not easy. And I think it's even harder for women.
It
And
is.
it's a man's business, this e-commerce world. There's not a lot of women like yourself really out there and speaking your mind. And a lot of people look up to you. And I just want to just let you know that you're not only a great mentor, but you're really loved by a lot of people.
Thank
And
you.
you're doing such a great job. And thank you for being patient with me on this show.
Oh,
I,
no
you
problem.
know,
I know
we
how it
again,
is. I hate traveling and doing things. People are like,
yeah,
can we do it while you're traveling? I'm like, please, no, it never works.
it's all good. Well, I can't. If I did that, I probably wouldn't have a show for three
No, you
months.
wouldn't have a show. So you just gotta do what you gotta
We just
do.
got to
So
do what we
no
got to
worries.
do. But you know what? I love our attitudes, and I thank you for that too. We just got to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, the things that we've talked about in the last 30 minutes, it'll change somebody's life. And that's the key. Whoever's listening, and the wisdom that's coming out on these questions is important. And I love the fact that you said we have to have a big life and not a juggling life or not a balanced life, but looking at it as a big life with our family in it, with our loved ones in it, and our business flourishing in it.
And
And
I will say that when you have
yeah,
one big life, a
yeah,
life that you love and that's driven towards your goals and like living towards expressing everything with your family, you lose something. And that is, you lose the luxury of being able to wallow, to be
That's
stuck
true.
in self-pity, to whine and complain. Like, you can do it for a second, but you don't got much time because you've got this big
Yeah.
life to fulfill. And
Wow.
so, every moment is a gift. You never know when somebody's going to be leaving this world, and so you have to make every moment count, and having one big life that really allows you to embrace that is really, really important.
Absolutely. Well, girlfriend, thank you so much. It's perfect. 30 minutes. We're on
30
time.
minutes. All right.
So, if you want more about this show, please join or email our Facebook group and definitely subscribe to our videos in our YouTube channel. And maybe, Robyn, you can just kind of explain maybe things that are coming up, or if you want to promote something, what's been going on, just really
Yeah.
quickly.
If you go to Best from the Nest, like best in show, in the nest like a bird's nest, so bestfromthenest.com,
Mm-hmm.
you sign up for our newsletter. We're having a webinar on Thursday, talking about increasing your profitability, and then we're going to be doing a profit boot camp. So
Ooh.
it's going to be, because I just joined a gym. Aren't you proud of me? I'm
Wow,
joined a gym.
that's
Yes.
awesome.
So
Woohoo.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna go 3 times a week. That's my goal. I'm gonna try to do more, but I have to do 3 times a week. And I was like, we should do that with our numbers. So it's gonna be not long webinars, but like maybe like a 3-minute video and like a
Mhm.
task. So working on your profitability 3 times a week, 30 minutes, at a time.
Oh,
Just
I love
really trying to
that.
have to be done. Yeah.
I love that, and make it short and simple and easy to remember, one task at a time.
And
Because
we're going
people,
to break up some of those big tasks, like getting your cash flow set up and things like that. So I'll kind of walk you through in baby steps, because I know to just kind of be like, well, know your numbers. Well, what does that mean? How do I start?
hmm.
So we're going to be walking through those pieces in smaller chunks.
Awesome. And then can you maybe share? Well, I guess what we'll do is we'll share the link on the description below
Yeah.
off of the Facebook and the YouTube channel. And if there's anything else you need us to promote, Robyn, please, we're a big advocate, the EFE show and e-commerce kids. So, we're behind you. And congratulations on your book again.
Thank you.
I just saw that recent article of you being one of the top books to read when it comes to business. I
Yeah,
love
I was
it.
like, whoa, I'm with Think and Grow Rich and Good to
I
Great.
know.
Some of my favorite books. It was pretty crazy.
I love it. Yeah, Tim Ferriss was on there too, right
Yeah.
next to your name.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, girlfriend, I think we are done. For those that tune in, please tune in every Tuesday at 5:30 PST. I will be back in the office next week, so at least I won't be traveling for that show. But Robyn, I really appreciate your time and patience and love, and I look forward to actually going through some of your programs. And that is it. I think we are done.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, guys.
Peace
Bye.
out. All right, let me end this. And we are good to go. Love it.